Paul Collett, what motivates you in your work? What is the force that drives you?
It's definitely making a difference. We had a big debate with the Arts Council in England about this, because the Arts Council, their motto is great art for everyone. And so if we put on great art, then it's done. But for me, it's about making a difference to people's lives. And obviously in this work, it's about making a real difference to young people's lives.
And which responsibility does Europe has for the future of arts education?
It's a good question. As we heard today, Europe has a problem with arts and education because the member states guard the right to do it themselves very strictly. And in fact, when you come to countries like Germany, it's not even the member state, it's actually the Länder who says, I'm sorry, this is my responsibility. And therefore, technically, Europe doesn't have a responsibility in this area. But I think that whilst the member states like to feel that education and culture is what makes them different and they should be able to protect, the reality is that the problems we're all facing in all our schools are the same problems, and we would solve them better if we work together on understanding and sharing knowledge and seeing what works in different places. And therefore I think it has a huge responsibility to make that work. The second is, and this was very much highlighted in the European Year of Creativity last year in 2009, is that the future economy of Europe is entirely dependent on us becoming more creative, and all of us becoming more creative. We have a statistic in England that 60% of all the jobs that young people in school today will do have not yet been invented, and they're going to invent them. That's going to be the job. It's a completely different paradigm shift in terms of jobs. We want job creators, not job seekers. And we're not really doing that. And unless we all get together and solve that, we will be completely uncompetitive as an economy, the whole of Europe, and that will be disastrous.
For you personally, what is your contribution to a better future?
I'd sort of point to creative partnerships more than anything else. I mean, it was a program which was in its very early days when I first started running it, and that's working with fantastic people in our national office and right across the country. I think we devised a program which is extraordinarily powerful and really has made a difference and changed lots of young people's lives. I was at a school a few weeks ago, a primary school in a very, very disadvantaged area of the West Midlands, which is one of our industrial areas, but it has serious economic problems. And it was children from very, very poor backgrounds. But there was a thing about this school, and this particular year of children, they were year sixes, which is the last year, is that ever since they'd been at that school, it had been a creative partnership school. So they'd only ever had creative partnerships. They knew nothing else. And I spent a whole morning talking to them, and they were extraordinary to talk to. They were so different. But the bit that really got to me is I said to them after a while, so what do you want to do when you grow up, go to college and so on and so forth? And they all had high aspirations. Now they were all going to be doctors and accountants and all this kind of thing. Except there was this little Asian boy. And he said, no, I want to do something to do with young people and creativity and that kind of, that's what I'd like to do. And the other children said, you mean like be a teacher? He said, no. And then he looked at me and said, how did you get your job? And to me, I thought, I've changed that person's life. 6 years ago, it would never have happened that he'd now be thinking in those terms.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.